Stadium. Two different cities with two different weather patterns. First pitch, 78 degrees, sunny in L.A., 42 degrees in Philly, near freezing with the wind chill. Advantage L.A. You see Hamels in the numbers. Bottom second scoreless. James Loney says, I don't care about the numbers. Solo shot. Just his second at Dodger Stadium this season, and the Dodgers up 1-0. Loney hit .438 against the Phillies in the NLCS last season. Top five, still 1-0. 2 runners on for Carlos Ruiz facing Clayton Kershaw. He was a Dodger killer during the regular season. Hit .571 against them. That's a 3-run shot, and the Phillies with a 3-1 lead just like that. And Kershaw struggling. Facing Chase Utley with a runner on second. Wild pitch, Jimmy Rollins will take third on the play. Kershaw's third wild pitch of the inning. He's the first pitcher in LCS history to throw 3 wild pitches in 1 inning. Utley would walk. Next batter is Ryan Howard, and that's going to be trouble. Rollins scores. Utley coming around from first to throw home, not in time. He's in there. Howard with a double. 5-1 Phillies. Kershaw pulled his final line 4 2/3, 4 hits, 5 earned runs, and 5 walks. Bottom 5, Hamels facing Ethier with runners at the corners and 1 out. Phillies try to turn the double play, but Utley's throw to first is wide, goes into the Phillies dugout. Russell Martin scores. Andre Ethier in there at first. Take another look at it. Rollins with some trouble getting the ball out of his glove, disrupted the timing. Hamels like, dude, what are you doing? Inning would have been over. Instead, it's 5-2 now, and here comes Manny Ramirez, professional hitman. He found his stroke against the Cardinals, and he uses it against the Phillies. 2-run shot. And you know they're loving it at Dodger Stadium. Look at it go down low to get it. Knew it was gone as soon as he hit it. His 29th postseason home run, all-time leader in that category. Dodgers down 5-4. Hamels, 5 1/3, 8 hits and 4 earned runs. Bottom 6, Jay Happ coming out of the bullpen instead of the starting rotation in relief of Hamels. Bases loaded, 2 outs. He gets Rafael Furcal to end the inning. And the Phillies bullpen gets out of a big jam. Bottom 7 now, former Dodger Chan-Ho Park facing Casey Blake with a runner on second. Blake wearing number 23, the same number as former Dodger Kirk Gibson. Why do we bring that up? Well, 21 years ago to the day, October 15th, 1988, Gibson with that pinch-hit walk-off homer. I don't believe what I just saw and all of that. Gibson rounding the bases, pumping his fist, an iconic sports image. But back to this game, you saw Kirk Gibson. You know Kirk Gibson. Blake was no Kirk Gibson, at least not on that play. And check out Park in the dugout. He's like, whew, I thought he might have been Kirk Gibson. We go to the 8th. Raul Ibanez facing George Sherrill with 2 runners on. Ibanez, the great regular season for him. That continues. 3-run shot. Gets a hanging breaking ball, and he jumps all over it. And that put the Phillies up 8-4. Bottom 8 now, 8-6. Ramirez up facing Ryan Madson with 2 on and 2 outs. That's not going to hurt a bit. And it's still 8-6. And here comes Brad Lidge. His problems in the regular season, well chronicled, but he's gotten it together in the playoffs, facing Blake with a runner on first. 4-6-3 double play. And there's 2 away in the 9th. After a walk to James Loney, Ronnie Belliard went after a pitch looked like it was out of the zone. Rollins makes the catch, and the Phillies win the game 8-6. So Lidge 3 for 3 in saves so far this postseason. Remember, he saved 3 games last year against the Dodgers in the NLCS. Phillies take Game 1, and in best of 7 series in the majors, Game 1 winners have gone on to win the series 62% of the time. Phillies have won 15 of their last 19 postseason games. Game 2 Friday afternoon, so quick turnaround. Stadium was about pitching and ultimately about mistakes. Pedro Martinez making his first playoff start since the 04 World Series. Kobe Bryant from Lower Merion, Pennsylvania, rocking the Dodger hat because he says LA's home now. Pedro Martinez, of course, came up with the Dodgers. He gets Manny Ramirez to pop out in the second inning. He retired the first 7 batters he faced. Top third, Vicente Padilla. He got it working. 55-mile-per-hour curveball fooled Shane Victorino, and Victorino's, you got me. Later in the at-bat, Victorino pops out to Rafael Furcal. Padilla out of the third. Remember, the Rangers just cut him loose. They said, you can roll. And the Dodgers picked him up. Top 4, no score. Padilla facing Ryan Howard. And, well, that was a mistake. Howard doing what he does. His 6th consecutive postseason game with an RBI. Solo shot puts the Phillies up 1-0. Bottom 5, Pedro still doing his thing. Casey Blake, sit down. Next batter is Ronnie Belliard. And he got him, too. And he's looking like the Pedro of old. Got the Jerry Curl working again, too. 7th inning, still 1-0 Phillies. Padilla still on the mound, 93 degrees, a hot day. And he gets some help. They're happy to have the double play. The next batter is Raul Ibanez. Padilla 7 1/3, 4 hits, 1 run, 6 strikeouts. It's been a great story for the Dodgers. How about Martinez? Came back out for the bottom of the 7th. He gets Manny Ramirez. He went 0 for 4. Next batter, James Loney. That's well hit. Shane Victorino there for the catch, and Pedro like, pues, no creo. 7 innings of work, 2 hits, no runs, 3 strikeouts. He said he was ready to go back for the 8th. But another former Dodger came out instead. Chan-Ho Park on in the 8th. He was unhittable in game 1. Man on first. Belliard lays down the bunt. Fools everybody. And everybody's safe. Next batter is Russell Martin. This one of the key plays of the game. Pedro Feliz to chase Utley at second, and Utley throws it away. Here comes Juan Pierre. He'll score. Belliard comes in hard. Utley throws it away just like he did in game 1, and the game was tied at 1. Scott Air came on. He gave up a hit to Jim Thome. So Ryan Matson on in relief now. Walks Rafael for a call, and now the bases are loaded. Next batter is Matt Kemp. You see the bases packed with Dodgers. Kemp. Oh, Matson made him look bad on the changeup. 2 outs, bases still loaded. 4th pitcher in the 8th on now. Jay Happ trying to get the 3rd out. Walks Andre Ethier. Here comes Russell Martin, and the Dodgers take a 2-1 lead. So they go to a 5th pitcher now. Chad Durbin in to face Manny Ramirez with the bases loaded. Remember, Manny with a home run on Thursday, but swung at the first pitch and popped out. But the damage was done. Dodgers up 2-1 after 8. Jonathan Broxton trying to make your team, Neil.
Team shut it down?
Yes. It gets Chase Utley to fly out. And the Dodger fans who took the afternoon off for the early start watch their team even up the series. It's a game apiece now as the series heads to Philly for Game 3 on Sunday. The Dodgers come from behind to win again in a game that they called
white towels out. It was a cold night in Philadelphia. Dodgers pitcher Hiroki Kuroda making his first start since September 28th. 20 days between appearances, facing the big man Ryan Howard, and he made him pay. How about the liner to right field with 2 on? That'll bring in Shane Victorino and Chase Utley all the way from first. And look at the big man getting the green light and sliding in for the triple. Howard's 7th consecutive postseason game with an RBI. He's batting .400 in the series. Next batter, Jason Worth. Hitless in the series? Not anymore. To the deepest part of the park. 2-run blast. 3rd home run of the postseason for Worth. Full extension here. Kuroda gives up 4 runs in the first. Phillies in control. Bottom of the 2nd, Jimmy Rollins still working Kuroda. Getting it past James Loney. Carlos Ruiz will come in. Rollins with the double. Joe Torre comes out. Final line for Kuroda, 1 1/3, 6 hits, 6 earned runs. And really, that was all enough for Cliff Lee. Dominant start here. Up 6-0. Casey Blake, thanks for playing. Then Lee facing Chad Billingsley, 92-mile-per-hour heat. In the 4th, Rafael Furcal, yeah, thanks for playing. 6th inning now. Lee still cruising. Phillies up 8-0. Lee, everything working with his command and velocity. That's a fastball in the zone. Another fastball. Let's just change things up with the nasty curve. Oh, yeah. Lee making it look so easy. To the 7th. Manny Ramirez, couple hits off Cliff Lee. Runner on second, but he can't do nothing here. 2 outs for Lee. Next batter, Matt Kemp. He had a long night. 0 for 3, including this strikeout. 8th strikeout of the game for Cliff Lee. To the 8th. Lee's still on the bump. No early pull for him. You know, Charlie Manuel took a lot of heat for pulling Pedro early, but Lee was dominant, getting James Loney. Then Russell Martin to end the inning. His 10th strikeout of the game. First Phil's pitcher to do that in the postseason since Kurt Schilling in '93. Bottom of the 8th, and how about Cliff Lee batting? Yeah. Still playing the base hit up the middle. The Philly crowd loving it. 2 batters later, Shane Victorino. All 9 Philly starters scored. 3-run blast here. The Phillies 6 for 13 with runners in scoring position. They put up an 11th spot. Remember, the Eagles scored only 9 in a loss to the Raiders on the same day. The Phillies now lead the series 2-1. The winner of Game 3 of the LCS has gone on to win 18 of the previous 26 series. Cliff Lee's line, 8 innings, 3 hits.
Philadelphia up 2-1. The Wolf Pack back in Philly. Randy Wolf, the former Philly, spent 9 years of his career in the first. Is Ryan Howard going to have to hit a pitch? 2-run homer, 6th of his postseason career, tying Lenny Dykstra for most in team history. Also ties Lou Gehrig's Major League record for most consecutive postseason games with an RBI at 8. Joe Blanton retired the first 10 men he faced, but he runs into trouble in the 10th. James Loney, pride of Houston, Texas. Loney does it again. Here comes Matt Kemp. Dodgers down 2-1. Bases loaded for Russell Martin. Little base hit bingo. Raul Ibanez comes up throwing, but Manny Ramirez scores to tie the game at 2. All right, 5th inning. Matt Kemp. That's high and gone off Blanton to the deepest part of the ballpark, and the Dodgers have come back to take a 3-2 lead to the 6th. 2 men on, 2 out for Casey Blake, who was 1 for 25 lifetime against Blanton before that. Manny Ramirez scores, and the Dodgers open up a 4-2 lead. Home half of the 6th. After Shane Victorino tripled, Chase Utley will bring him in, and the lead is cut to 4-3. Later in the inning, the Dodgers bring in the hard-throwing left-hander Hong Chi Kuo. Raul Ibanez sinking liner, and look at Manny making the catch to preserve the lead. Is this the year the elusive Gold Glove comes to Manny Ramirez?
No.
Okay. 8th inning. George Sherrill. Remember, he gave up the big homer in Los Angeles earlier in this series. Oh, boy. Hits Victorino, so the Phillies have a man on. Next batter. Walks Chase Utley. So now Sherrill's really in the soup, and Torrey's like, hey, Broseph, you want to get us out of this? 2 men on, 1 out, and look who's at the plate. Ryan Howard. Sherrill starts him off with a strike. Foul ball, so now Howard is down 0-2. Takes ball 1. 4th pitch of this sequence. High and inside, and Howard swings and misses, so that's out number 2. The Dodgers call Jonathan Broxton on for the 4-out save, facing Jason Worth. It's deep, but it's not deep enough, and the Dodgers get out of the jam still with the lead to the 9th. 2 out. Runner is at 3rd. Brad Lidge comes on and gets Andre Ethier to preserve that deficit to 1. Now, Broxton on in the 9th to face Matt Stairs, and he didn't want to have anything to do with the veteran Matt Stairs. Walks him on 4 straight. Eric Brunklet comes on to pinch hit. Broxton then hits Carlos Ruiz to put 2 men on. So now the tying run in scoring position. Greg Dobbs, little sinking liner that is squeezed by the 3rd baseman, Casey Blake. So now you have 2 out. Jimmy Rollins, 1 for 6 lifetime against Broxton. Good wood there. Splits the defenders in the alley. 1 run scores easily. What about the winning run? Yeah, that scores 2. As J-Roll comes through in the clutch. Phillies come from behind to win 5-4. Jimmy Rollins, the unlikeliest of heroes. 1 for 6 lifetime against Blanton. 143 this year with 2 outs and runners in scoring position as Shane Victorino does his part, being the 3rd base coach, waving everyone in. And the Phillies come back to win and now lead this best of 7, 3-1. They win on Monday, 5-4. Phillies have won 10 of their last 11 postseason home games and 10 of their last 12 league championship series games. Dodgers were 78-3 when leading entering the 9th during the regular season. NLCS Game 5. Phillies trying to close it out at home. Cole Hamels been very good last season in clinching scenarios, but in the first, Andre Ethier touches him up for a solo homer, his first of the series. Dodgers get a quick 1-0 lead. Vicente Padilla, yet to lose for the Dodgers, including 2-0 in this postseason. Got the first 2 men in the first, but then he walks Chase Utley. Utley reaching base safely for the 25th straight postseason game. That ties a Major League record. Couple batters later, it's Jason Worth, 3-run blast. Phillies on top, 3-1, his second of the series. And in between innings, Worth feeling the love in right field. But the Dodgers come back. Houston's own James Loney Loney has done it again. His second of the series, and the Dodgers cut the lead to 3-2. But back come the Phillies as Pedro Feliz joins the fun in the home half. First career postseason home run for him in 80-plus at-bats. Phillies back on top 4-2. Teams combined for 7 home runs in this game, tying a postseason record. Home half of the fourth. One on for Raul Ibanez. And that dog will hunt. Jason Worth, he moves well for a big man. He comes all the way around from first to score. And the Phillies once again go back on top 5-2. Padilla is pulled after that. Lasts just 3 innings, giving up 6 runs. Yuck. Now in this game, it's all hands on deck, so the Dodgers go to their 8th inning man, George Sherrill. Shane Victorino is plunked, so that brings in another run. 6-2 Philadelphia. The Dodgers with life in the 5th. Orlando Hudson, the O-Dog, pinch hit homer, cuts the lead to 6-3. Dodgers' first postseason pinch hit homer since '88, Kirk Gibson. Next batter, Rafael Furcal. He ends up at second with a double, and that's all for Hamels, who goes just 4 1/3 as Charlie Manuel gets the hook. Baseball Tonight's John Kruk has some real concern about Hamels going forward. Later in the inning, Ethier, can of corn with 2 on and 1 out as J.A. Happ gets the fly out to left. Ethier knows he had a pitch there that he missed. Next batter, Manny Ramirez. Facing Chad Durbin, little excuse me swing, and the Phillies get out of trouble. Dodgers in this series hit 194 with runners in scoring position. Yeah. Potential Game 6 starter Clayton Kershaw pitching. Remember, it's all hands on deck for the Dodgers, and this one's going overboard. Shane Victorino, his second of the series. 8-3 Philadelphia. In the 7th, Hong-Chi Kuo facing left-handed slugger Ryan Howard. Good matchup here. Kuo throws fire. Howard has thunder. Howard, grab some wood, bub. His 8-game postseason RBI streak is over. But the next batter, Hong-Chi Kuo, finding pitching ain't easy. As it's Worth, second of the game, 3rd of the series, 7th of his career, most in team history. To the 8th. Dodgers threatening, down 9-4. Russell Martin struck out by Ryan Madson with the bases loaded. Next batter, Casey Blake. That's not going to do it. Dodgers left 15 men on base in this game to the 9th. It's not a save situation, but you bet it's a clinching situation. Ronnie Belliard against Brad Lidge. And that's it. Shane Victorino squeezes it, and just like they did in the World Series, Brad Lidge and his battery mates celebrate in the diamond as the Philadelphia Phillies, for a second consecutive year, are 2009 National League champions as they eliminate Russell Martin and the Dodgers for a second consecutive year. Ryan Howard, despite not getting an RBI on Wednesday, is awarded with the League Championship Series MVP. And to the victor go the spoils and the champagne. How about Pedro Martinez? The Soul Glow and the champagne, it's all flowing. It's all good for the Phillies. The last National League World Series champ to return to the World Series, the 1996 Braves, who lost in 6 games. Ryan Howard, as I mentioned, the League Championship Series MVP. No team has repeated as World Series champ since the 99-2000 Yanks, and a National League team hasn't done it since the 75-76 Reds. Brad Lidge and the Phillies hoping to change that.